Hello, today we're back and it is March 6th and it is 63 degrees outside. So it's a perfect day to get in the hives and see what they're up to and how everything's been. Check for eggs, check for the queen, yada yada, stuff like that. So we're gonna get into it. Did we smoke them already?
We did.
We smoked them already?
The smoke calms the bees. It makes them think maybe there's a fire. It disorients them. It causes them to want to go and eat, just in case they need to take off. They have not touched this emergency food, so we're gonna see what's going on in here. Because it is over 60, we can pop the top and take a look inside. Can I have the smoker come out from under that, please? So we're gonna see what's going on. And they are into, grab that block. They are into the pollen patty, and we do have some bees on the lid right around where the pollen was sitting. We did put pollen in here a couple weeks ago to get the queen going, and we'll see if that helped at all. So, okay, so I've pulled some empty frames out of the way just so we can get down in there and see what's going on. But I'm gonna run through real quick. We're gonna see if we can find any eggs of the queen. We've got still a full frame of honey on and stored sugar syrup on that side. So some resources going on. Likewise on this next frame, and because we're so, yeah, we've still got some honey on this one too. Honey is what they eat in the winter time. They store it. The adult bees live off of honey. Pollen is only for the babies that are in the hive before they are capped, when they're still in the larval stages, which is kind of like a caterpillar stage of a butterfly. So the cluster, it looks like, is still down here towards the bottom. So we're going to see if we can see what's going on. Get this patty loose and out of the way, and that is super sticky. See if we can get this one off as well. Sorry, girl. And you've got a good shot of what's going on right now, Justin. So this one not as thick. That's looks like where the bottom of the cluster, at the top of the cluster is, where they're eating, and on that side as well. So they're working their way up through. This is not a big hive, so we're not going to see a lot of bees. We've got part of the cluster on this one too. So the cluster is a volleyball size shape in a large hive. Could be a softball or a melon size in a smaller hive. But that's what the bees do in the winter time, is they kind of huddle together for warmth and just eat their way through their honey stores. And we're looking at the top of that right now. So I'm gonna get this one. That one's fine over there. We've got bees, and these are all female bees. The winter bees get chase out the boy bees, and so no boys at this time. Once the weather starts changing and we get into early summer, then the queen will start laying eggs that are drones, which are the boy bees. So this is where we're at. I see no queen. Do you, Justin?
No.
Okay. And that one's still pretty heavy also. And they're pretty happy. They're pretty calm. It's a nice day. It's sunny. It's in the 60s, so it's an ideal day to check the bees. I'm not too warm. The bees aren't too warm and cranky. And we don't see a queen on that one either. Not there. And not there. And the last frame on this box, and these are 10 frame boxes. She's not usually on the outside, but we will check just in case, because we did have one queen that liked to hide on the edges. So No sign of the queen. And no sign of her on the sidewalls either. So I'm gonna get this box put back together and we will get it off to the side. Justin, anything that you can think of that you want to let everybody know as far as the bees go?
Not anything offhand. You seem to be covering it pretty well.
So they did have a couple frames in here that they had never drawn out for winter, and as I said before, this was a pretty small hive. So we're just going to put those back in. That one looks like it was the outside one, and that one was... And get that slid back down in there. Get the frame perch off. We're going to put that pollen patty right back where it was so that they can continue eating that. And we're going to break this seal and get into the next box.
Okay.
Okay? I just want to make sure that I'm not squishing these. And we're going to give them a little bit more smoke. This is probably the middle of the cluster right here. And we're just going to give them a little bit more smoke. And if you see, they kind of dive down and they'll start looking for honey. But this does calm them down. And that's what we're looking to do. So we don't get stung and they don't get agitated and angry. And we'll see what's going on in here. They look like they're over here, so I'm going to pull these first. If I can get it. That one's breaking right there. And that one's breaking right there. So maybe the second one that I take out. Maybe the first.
Yeah, they got those sealed up good.
Oh yeah. There we go. Wow. They really got it stuck in there. So. Oh. There we go. And that one they really didn't have drawn out, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean a little bit of the propolis, which is kind of like bee glue, off, so when I go to put this together I don't have problems, because otherwise they'll get very angry at me and I don't want to make them mad. So we're going to clean that off. Propolis is made from pine sap and other tree saps that they mix with their saliva and make it into a glue to hold everything together in their hive and seal up any gaps. We're going to go on to the next one. Smoke myself. And got a fair amount of condensation going on there, or undrawn. We're gonna move to the next one, and yeah, this hive's damp. That's also pollen, the sugar syrup that they were saving, probably.
Yeah.
We're gonna get some of that water out of there. And this one as well. We've got some bee bread, which is pollen mixed with bee spit. We got a dead bee, which is normal in the wintertime. And I'm just going to kind of peek down in here and make sure I don't see any signs of the queen or anything like that. Oh. Okay, we're just keep moving through, see what we've got. And we have a couple dead ones in there, and that's normal. And still some honey at the top of that one. They've pretty much eaten their way through that one. It's very light. No signs of the queen yet. We've got a big dead pile of bees at the bottom here. And we don't see the queen on this side. And when we put this tool in and we're getting closer to the center of the bees, we just need to be careful. We're gonna lift that one. There's a good number of bees in here still.
Yeah, there is.
And we are looking for the queen, and she's going to be bigger. She's also going to be lighter colored than the rest. We know what our queens look like. So that's one of the things that we do know about her, is she is a lighter colored queen. And as you can see, the bees aren't really messing with me. I'm not really messing with them. Sometimes their attitude does change as we get closer to finding the queen, and we'll see if that happens today. But I think right now they're just happy it's springtime weather. So no signs of brood, which is baby bees, and I don't see a queen on that side. We've got quite the huddle going on there, and I'm wondering if the queen's right there somewhere. Can you kind of I can, hold on, scatter them. Oh, we've got brood. So if you look right here, we've got baby bee eggs. That's capped brood, so that means the queen should be here somewhere. And we're not going to mess with that even any further, because we know that if we've got baby bees, we've got a mama. So as long as that is what we see, we are good with that. So we know that this is a healthy hive. We know by looking at those that those are female bees, babies. So we're going to put that back because it is windy and these can't fly very well. So I'm going to pull one more frame just to see if maybe we can see her for you. But there's no need for me to do anything any deeper in this hive. They're doing well. They've got a small cluster of brood, and that's what we want to see this time of year. And I don't see her, but if I had to guess, I'd say she's over here somewhere. They've got some capped brood or something going on, just honey. Okay, I don't see her, but that's okay. We're gonna leave it at that. Go ahead.
Check the other side. Since we're here. You never know.
Yeah. And she's not on that one, I can tell by looking at it. So that's fine. And someone calling on me. She's just investigating. She wants to know what's going on. So we're gonna put her back. And we're gonna put these back. And we will clean out the debris in the bottom of the hive once the weather totally clears. But for right now, this is where it'll stay. And we know that we've got food. They've got food. So we're good. So one successful overwintering, and we will move on to the next ones and see what we've got going on.
All right, now we're gonna get into the second one here and check to see how they're doing. And they're not getting into their feet at all, which is fine, as long as they're doing well. So we'll get this inner cover off and then check to see what they're doing. This is one of our meaner hives, so we're just gonna take it easy on this one.
They're not mean per se, they get agitated a little more easily once you get inside the hive. So that one looks like it's fairly loose.
Yeah. Nice drawn comb, but no activity on it, which is normal for this time of year. They're all kind of over on this side doing their thing, just like the other hive that we just got done doing.
That's a box that we gave to them. So, and they did draw it out a little wonky.
Yeah, a lot of the comb in this is kind of weird. I mean, it's there, that's good. This side looks really nice.
And I don't know if you guys can see this, but if you look at this frame, you've got two different nectar sources. If you look at this honey up here, it's real light colored. So that was probably from goldenrod. If you look at this stuff down here, it's got almost a purplish color to it. So that may very well be knotweed honey, which is a darker, richer honey. And because they do harvest for up to 2 or 3 miles, we really just don't know what it's going to be. Sometimes you can tell by the taste of it, but I can smell the goldenrod in this, so there's probably a fair bit of it. You can just keep plugging along till you get down near the... I'm kind of keeping an eye out for the queen. And we got nothing on that one.
With dead bees in there.
Yeah, that's okay. That happens.
Go clean them out. It's kind of weird. Look at that one.
No queen. Typically the queen is surrounded by her attendants, and so if you see a big cluster of bees, they're either covering brood or...
We got some brood going. There's some larvae in the very, very bottom.
And larvae is before it's capped, so that means we do have a queen. And that's a really good sign.
She's also laying on this side too.
Okay.
So I want to get this up into the camera. I don't see her, so.
But
yeah, you can see the brood there. And then that camera doesn't have autofocus, so you're never going to be able to see the larvae in there, but it's there.
Okay, well, we know what we need to know then. We can close this one up.
Okay, I just want to check this last one.
The more time you spend in a hive after you've spotted larvae, and as long as it's not swarm season, you just don't want to mess with them. You're risking injuring your queen, and that's just not something we want to do. So, you know, we've got larvae, and we're in good shape.
So that's it?
That's it. We can button that one up. So, mean and green is done for the day. And they actually reacted really well. I'm surprised.
Me too.
You or me?
You can. All right, now we're getting into our third hive.
This was our weakest hive going into winter, and it's looking like it may come out of winter as our strongest. So for us, this is something pretty interesting. They're always unique. You just never know what's going to happen. How they're going to handle the weather, how the queen is. And so we're going to check them. We've got some bees on the lid, but nothing exciting. And I am going to give them a little bit more smoke because this is a bigger hive. And I'm going to start on this end because they're over here.
Okay.
Okay. That one can go completely out of the way. We've got a couple bees. And They have definitely eaten through the honey. Like, these frames are completely empty. Which is good. Got a couple little ones on there, but they're all worker bees, which are all the girls. And again, this one, woo. We always roll it this way if we can to look for the queen. And I see no sign of her yet. Justin, if you want to give them a little bit of smoke right here, that would be great. We just want to keep them calm because they keep tapping my gloves, so I know they're not happy. And they have definitely eaten completely through this one as well. So I'm wondering if the queen's close by. You want to smoke them again? Just keep that handy because they're definitely not pleased with me. And no signs of her. And this one is empty also. I don't see any signs of her. And that frame is completely empty. Like it weighs nothing. We're gonna get this moved. And you can see where they're going after that pollen. So I'm thinking we must have a queen. I'm gonna move this over here for a moment.
Keep it still.
No. I just wanted to make sure she wasn't. We're going slow and methodical. And these frames aren't even drawn out, so these were just some extras that were shoved in there to take up space, or they just didn't finish drawing for the year. And likewise this one. And we're just going to make sure the queen is not behind it. And she's not, and she's not on the sides. So we're gonna put this box back together and get down into the main cluster in this hive. There's no honey in this at all. They've eaten every bit of it, even this one, and that one had to have been packed because it's a very large frame. And I'm thinking this was set up as a 9 frame also because it was a super. So sometimes what we do with the honey super frames is we set them up as a 9 frame, which gives them a little bit more room to draw them out a little bit thicker. So it makes it easier for us to uncap. And that's what we've got. And we're going to put this back on the top. And we're going to get down into the bottom here and probably make some bees angry because there are a lot of them in here. But we're going to see what's going on, see if we can find any signs of baby bees. So if you're ready, I'm ready.
Okay. I can't get over how many there are still left in there.
Yeah. I think this is more bees than this hive went into winter with. And they have got this one cemented very tightly. we do have honey on this one, so that's a good sign. That frame's still completely full, which is good. And no sign of a queen, and no sign of eggs, but I'm gonna smoke them one more time. And our neighbor's running a chainsaw now, so it might get a little loud, but we're still gonna keep going with this and see what we can find. So we've got a lot of bee bread on that one, which is food for the baby bees. We've got honey, and we've got honey on that side as well. It may be that they have, what bees do during the winter is they move up through the hive in the winter, and then they move back down in the spring. And it may be they've already moved back down. So I gotta get this perch moved to the other side. That's just not me. And they're buzzy, but they're not angry. You'll notice the sound changes when they get agitated, and they're pretty chill right now. So, is that brood, or is that
Where in that corner?
Yeah.
It's not brood.
Okay. Oh, that's just some really dark honey. And here's where they're probably going to start getting a little ticked off, because we are getting closer to the middle, and they have eaten completely through that, and we do have brood.
Right there's the queen.
And there's the queen. So if you guys look right there, you can see how much bigger she is than the other bees, and how her color's different. And we're not going to touch her.
Seems like there's some brood starting possibly.
Is some brood there. I don't know if you can see it right here.
Yep, right there.
So that's baby bees, and there is larvae in here, all the way over in through here, and
That queen's moving.
she's on the move. They don't like being in the sunlight, so we're gonna put her back, and we're gonna call it a day. That is what we were looking for. We hope you guys are having a good beekeeping year, and if this is something you're interested in, and you need hives, or you need more hives, feel free to visit Galena Farms link on our description and use the 5% off promo code for Hoover Hives, or for the Busy Bees and More, or even for the newbie line, and the accessories that they carry as well. So, happy beekeeping, happy spring from north central Pennsylvania. We've still got some time here where it's going to be cold and probably snow, but at least we know they're doing well. So we're gonna get this last frame in and call it a day.